Hi Seeker, welcome back to the Existential Shift. This is a 13th element video. I want to talk about transmutation, integration, and what it means in practicality. But let's start with the theory, right? So dictionary-wise, transmutation is change, transformation. In physics, it's when one matter is completely burned to its ashes to turn into a different matter, aka phoenix, if we want to talk philosophy. In biology, it's when one species turn into a different species. And in alchemy, it's basically the process of alchemy where we turn base metal into gold, similarly to this goldstone here, which is a combination of copper and glass. It's man-made stone. The alchemical process, even more basic than that, the chemical process of taking two different matters, mixing them together, creating a third matter. Now, this third matter is on its own. It has its own properties, but it's a combination of the two matters that created it. It's kind of like a child, right? There's the feminine, there's the masculine, two different entities, two separate beings that come together and create a third creation that is the transmutation, a result of the integration of these two entities, energies, matters, so on. Life basically is alchemy. It's the magic of creation. It's not that big of a secret. It's a philosophy, turning base metal into gold. It's the process of us transmuting into something new, but that is also a bigger sum of part of our pieces mixed with other pieces of this creation. Right? The molecules of me dissolve into its molecular structure, mixed in with the molecules of something else that has dissolved into its molecular structure using intense heat, for example, in order to make the molecules move faster, thus more fluid, lucid, liquid, and then gas from the solid that it was. But it's the same thing, the gas, the liquid, and the solid, and the plasma. It's molecules and atoms. It's all a matter of how much they're condensed or not condensed, how fast they move or how slow they move. Everything in this existence is energy. We're all just energy shaping itself to be something different than the other. Okay? My shape is different than yours, but we are made of the same matter. Just like this couch, just like this pillow, just like the smoke coming out of my lovely incense here. Okay? So this whole oneness aspect, the divine, the God, is science. Spirituality and science are the same thing. It's just different languages to describe the same thing. And when we create alchemy, it's basically we're taking different letters of the same language, mixing it together, and creating an entity with character, a word, a sentence, a poem, a story, a human, a child, a stone, a self, a manifestation of some sort. The divine is the transmutation of everything that was integrated together into its higher state of being, the divine. We are all a part of this. We're all just running molecules in this body that is called God, or whatever you want to call it, universe, creation, all that jazz. Now, let's talk about, sounds lovely, right? But how does it work? Let's go deeper into the philosophy so we will tap into the practicality, right? Because when you dive deep, you resurface on the other side of the planet, therefore you're on the surface and not at the depths. Same thing, right? The first sphera in the tree of life is the 10th sphera in the tree of life. It's a cycle. A tree can only grow as tall as the depths of its roots. Everything is cyclical. The heavens are the earth and vice versa. Okay, so let's go deeper into theory in order to become the practicality. I want to put out there the equation of Einstein, which is E equals mc squared, which is the equation of the atom bomb of complete destruction, right? But also the equation that explains the Big Bang, the complete creation. I've been speaking about this, I think, on my 13th element, the true secrets of manifestation. I did this video a little over a year ago. It's on my 13th element playlist. There's a lot of awesome videos over there that if you like this style, then you might like as well, so feel free to check it out. Anyway, E equals energy, means energy, equals mc squared. M means mass, c means the speed of light, square, speed of light times speed of light. So mass times speed of light times speed of light equals energy. Inevitably, energy divided or condensed or slowed down by the speed of light times the speed of light becomes solid, becomes matter. We are all, whether we're condensed or liquid or gas or plasma or whatnot, or ether, we are all energy. Day is night. Dark is light. Above is below. High is low. So how do we live this divinity? In essence, we integrate all these seemingly different things. If you want to transmute, if you want to change, it has to go through integration, right? This transmutation, this form of goldstone, is an integration of copper and glass. So if you want to transform your life or yourself, you want basically to integrate aspects of yourself within yourself, but also with outside aspects of your life. You hear this a lot, integration of our shadow work and our light work, right? Because we've been obsessed in the new age with light work, with positive manifestations and positive reinforcements and mantras and thinking positively and manifesting positive and thinking positive, and all that is great. But as we already spoken of, it cannot exist without its counterpart. Matter exists within the empty matter. Planets exist within space. What is exists within the empty bowl of what isn't. There's room for things when the room is empty. Okay? So we want to take all this positivity of ourselves and integrate it with our negativity. How do we do that? We don't deny, dismiss, fear, escape, suppress, and so on, are negative aspects. The things within ourselves that we fear. The things within ourselves that we don't like. The things within ourselves that we are ashamed of. Our anger, our hate, our fear, our sadness, our ignorance, our confusion. All of these things are chaos, our chaos. How many times were you told to toughen up, suck it up, and just keep going? Yeah, of course. We ought to be able to do so. But if we do so while still carrying this load of everything that I just gave examples for, then that's not integration. That's just putting in the same sack two different materials, but they're not mixed together. It just makes the sack weigh heavier. It makes you heavier. If you want to be source-like, be the Garden of Eden, which is the actual divine feminine. Not Eve, not Lilith. Eve, the positive expression of the feminine, allegedly, biblically. Lilith, the negative expression of the divine feminine, biblically, allegedly. But both are different sides of the coin for that coin that is Gaia, Earth, Eden. And they're both are important. They're both same aspects, different aspects, of femininity, of creation. So this doesn't just relate to feminists, to femininity. This relates also to masculinity. This relates to everything, but it's just another example. So if you want to be source-like, rather than carrying the load of your negativity and the things that you suppress or deny or escape, work with them. How do you work with them? You feel them. Jim Carrey referred to being depressed to being in deep rest. You're feeling depressed? Don't fight yourself. Rest. Hurt. Feel. Be super kind to yourself. Take the time that you need to not be the strongest, to not be the best, to not know everything and be able to do everything. Do the weak thing, which is actually extremely powerful, because that's when you put aside your ego and genuinely treat yourself as you are. That's true acceptance. That's unconditional love. You want to teach unconditional love? You want to receive unconditional love? Give yourself unconditional love. You're angry? Be angry. I'm not saying go out and hit people. No. I'm saying take a punching sack and punch it. I'm saying allow yourself to feel this anger. And don't suppress it and tell yourself, no, I'm not angry, I'm enlightened. Do that fist. Don't punch anyone. Go train martial arts or something. Go to the gym, But express it. Feel it. Address it and express it. Same with your sadness. With your shame, with your guilt. Feel it all. And the amount of awareness you will receive from this is insurmountable. You will truly learn yourself. Because if you don't go to these places, that's like signing up to college and not attending classes that are just not comfortable for you. You still gotta learn. And you can't integrate yourself with another matter if you are not that matter that you are. Okay, let's say I want to create goldstone and I want to mix copper and glass. If I surround the glass because it's super edgy and sharp and cutting, if I wrap it with cotton candy, right, and a lot of like soft paper and pillows, and then I mix it with the copper, no goldstone. No, glass needs to be that glass. The matter needs to be that matter. You need to be you to become something else. That's the irony. To expand and transform and become, you need to be you. The more you allow yourself to be, the more infinite you will become. Because when you dive deep into yourself, really deep as it goes, that's when you suddenly find yourself on the other side of the earth, right? You dig, you end up finding yourself on the other side of the earth. And what do you know? You're on top. But different, in a different country, in a different language, in a different culture, whatnot. It's an analogy. But it's because you dug the deepest where you were. And the transmutation will suddenly happen. You will just feel it suddenly. You can't plan of when it will be. You've got to do it step by step in the moment. You can't plan it because the brain doesn't actually exist in the ether where transmutation and infinity is. The brain is the engine for this mechanism, for this 3D, for this body. But the heart is the source, is the truth. It's what is really in the present. I spoke about it in the last live that I did for the full moon in Pisces of how, the brain is in the future because it plans and thinks and worries and hopes. And it's in the past because it remembers. But the only thing that is truly in the present is what happens immediately when something faces you in the moment, which is the emotional response. It's the heart where the electric spark of the divine sits. I also did a video, The Electric Spark of the Heart. It's also on my 13th Element playlist. I'm just recalling. If you want to have like an extension, deeper explanation about the things that I'm mentioning, I just want to be focused on integration and transmutation here. So the more you are yourself, the more you can become everything else. If you want to be a shapeshifter, you got to know how to be a shape. Start with the shape of you. Integrate your dark sides with your light sides. Work with them. And once you know how to work, once you know how to work with your inner darkness, that's how you know how to transmute. That's how you learn how to transmute exterior darkness. Someone tries to hurt you, someone tries to send negative vibes, negative events happen to you, circumstances. That's how you learn how to transmute them into something positive, because we already said, everything is just energy. There's no real good and bad. It's just an illusion of the separation that we're experiencing in this third dimension, physical dimension. But in other dimensions, it's all oneness. It goes like a pyramid. The top is one, but the lower the dimensions are, the more rooms there are to the same pyramid. And as the rooms integrate within themselves, as 2 rooms become 1, 2 rooms become 1, the next floor is smaller. And then more integration there between the rooms and smaller, and so on and so on, until it's 1 room, that it's one and infinite, and pointed to the heavens is the heavens, but it's a integration of all the rooms and floors that came beneath it. You cannot shade the third dimension, the physical dimension. You cannot shade matter, because without matter there is no energy, and just like without energy there is no matter. Right? E equals mc squared. You can't shade the school that you've signed up for. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Make the best of it. Attend all the classes inside of you. So if something negative happens to you, you already have the natural, your essence just naturally knows how to integrate it and transmute it into positive energy. For me, for example, if someone gossips about me, talks ill about me, slanders, has ill intent, whether intentional or, just unintentional, okay? I'm not worried by it, because for me, it's just energy sent in my direction. Most people will translate it as, oh, this is negative, harmful energy. I just translate it as energy, like a peacock consuming poison, transmuting it into nutrition. That's what peacocks do. They don't die of poison. They're super cool like that. They're like nature's alchemists. They strengthen from poison. So I'm not saying you need to enjoy poison or just negativity. I'm saying that it's very freeing. You want to talk about me? Just make sure you pronounce my name correctly, Morgainne. I'll sense that energy, and I won't get hurt by its, I'll be very blissed and happy if it's positive, and I'll be loving to you. And if it's negative, well, karma will take care of you. The universe and its natural state of equilibrium will take care of you. But as for me, I'm not going to get hurt by it. I'm going to transmute it into something positive and strength and healing, nutrition, physical nutrition, energetic nutrition. Now, it's always a work in process. There's always room to do more and better in that field. And I'm not perfect, and sometimes I just don't want to be sad. So I'm like reading a happy book or watching television. But mostly, I go into my emotions. I don't deny myself of who and what I am. And that allows me to be so many different things. The best actors are those who know themselves the best. Because that's how they know how to reach within into their different aspects of their human condition and tap into them with integration of theoretical knowledge of what the character that they're portraying is. They integrate themselves, their true selves, with theory knowledge of the character that they're acting, and they integrate these two things, and then they transmute into the character that they portray. And to do it really well, they need to really know themselves and the theory. You want to change your life? You want to change yourself? Live your life. Live yourself. The only way out is in. You want to break out of this material matrix prison, this seemingly video game that we're caught up in? Play it really well. How do you finish a game? By going up in the levels. Finishing up level 1, going up to level 2, level 3, mastering all these levels. Master this plane of existence. Master yourself. And when you know yourself, when you know thyself, you know it all. Because you are all. You want to know about the world? Know about yourself. You want to change the world? Change yourself. You want to become the world? Integrate the different aspects of yourselves to become the divine. You are divine by nature. You just need to discover it and not run away from it. And how do you discover it? Archaeology. Dig, dig, dig. Now, don't forget, I'm saying integration. Don't get lost in it. Don't get addicted to it. It's not just about the shadow sides. It's also about the light side. It's also about the joy. It's also about the optimism. It's also about the resilience and persistence and study and evolve and horizons and creation. But the phoenix rises from the ashes. To get to that phoenix level, you got to go through the ashes. I didn't make this mechanism up. I'm just teaching it. Don't have to like it, but that's where you're at, so you might as well do it well. And when we go through our spiritual progression and energy work and integration and transmutation, we first find ourselves in the depths of our life. And it can hurt, and it can be terrifying. It could be depression, it could be confusion, it could be poverty, it could be loss. But the point is to remember that you're not meant to stay in these things. You're meant to go through these things properly. Don't skip stages. I'm a martial artist. I can't skip belts just because I want to be a black belt. The black belt is all the colors that came underneath it. I feel like being in a divine existence. I feel like being a spiritual being, enlightened. How about I'll just skip stages and steps and just feel love and butterflies all the time. Can't feel love and butterflies all the time, because this life that you're living in is not about love and butterflies all the time. It's partly that. To appreciate love, you have to go through the lack of it to appreciate it, because when you're born constantly wrapped and constantly loved, you don't appreciate what it's like to be without it. So you don't really experience it. It's called brats, spoiled brats. They don't know how much they have because they've never been without. So it's like not having. They walk in the world, they have this sensation of I don't have enough, because they've never experienced a true sense of lack. So it doesn't matter how much they have compared to other people. If their experience is this is regular, then they're not having. There's a reason why spiritual leaders that teach well integration and how to light work and shadow work have gone through, well, hell and back. They came to this earth with the will to know and to teach, so leading by example is the best way to lead. For the longest time, I have escaped my pain by working hard. And the harder I worked, the less I made, because it was a constant hole in the bottom of the barrel that I didn't address. I kept filling the vase, filling, pouring in work, income, relationships, knowledge, all that, to fill up this vessel. But my growing experience and life experience has included a lot of pain. And it's when I went there and felt the whole of it and grieved everything there was to grieve, and still am. It's a never-ending process. And new things come along to process. But the sooner you process, the sooner you feel, the sooner it gets integrated in you and transmuted, and the sooner it's transmuted into a bigger version of you. Because the hole is being sealed. When you pour water in, it actually gets filled up. And at one point, you need a bigger vessel. So you transmute again. You transform your physical surrounding to fit all this new energy that is coming in. You need a bigger luggage because you bought a lot more clothes, right? You need a bigger apartment because you have more family members, whatever. But first, make sure you have a vessel, a wholesome vessel that can contain these wonderful things that you're feeling and doing. And if there's a hole in the barrel, stop filling up things with water. Stop doing. Stop being actively doing in order to evolve and progress. Just stop. Just sit. Fear. Cry. Rage. Don't hurt anyone outside of you, but talk to the people close to you. If you don't want to talk, don't talk. Go be depressed for a week, or for a day, or for a month, or whatever you're... As long as you need to sleep. As long as your soul needs the rest. The deep rest. I'm not calling you all to be depressed. But if you are, I'm calling you to go in it in order to get out of it. I know I'm repetitive. And I give different examples. It's to clarify things in practicality, so you'll have examples on how to actually do it, as opposed to just a nice notion that we hear, like a poetic notion. Okay, but how do I actually do it? Being like a baby. Something makes you laugh, laugh. Something hurts you, take it in. Feel it, and that will by default put you in a place of, wait, why does that hurt me? What does this remind me of? Okay, maybe I need to have a conversation with this person about this thing. Or maybe I need to have a conversation with myself about this thing. But if you laugh it out and be like, haha, I didn't care, I don't care, I'm strong, I don't care, I don't matter, it doesn't matter to me. It matters. You matter, your heart matters. Your divinity will never expand and empower if you suppress and deny your heart. Because your heart is that. By suppressing your heart, you are suppressing your divinity. That's how heart problems happen. Heart aches. Your soul wants to experience this integration. Your soul wants to feel. So it urges you to feel. And if you don't feel, it will express itself in a different type of ache. So if it's not an emotional sensation, it's a physical sensation. You want to annihilate the physical pain, go to the emotional pain. What other examples can I give you for integration for the sake of transmutation? If someone asks you for your opinion about something that they do, tell them the truth, even if you are worried that it will hurt them. Tell yourself the truth. Surround yourself with people who are sincere and honest with you and don't just sugarcoat and tell you what you want to hear. If it's good, it's good. If it's not good, it's not good. How does a caterpillar, a mofo butterfly, which is the spirit animal of my channel of the Existential Shift, how does the butterfly becomes a butterfly from a caterpillar? It doesn't grow wings inside its cocoon. It goes into a cocoon. That's why it has a cocoon, to be super protected, because it literally dissolves, melts down to its molecular structure. It's a goo inside of it. It is painful. Can you imagine being melted down into yourself, into a goo of molecules and atoms, whatever? Ouch. That caterpillar goes through an immense physical pain. And it's terrifying, I'm sure. It feels like death. It is a death of the caterpillar. I died last year when my dog died. It was the final straw. I was so strong and had so many layers of protection to my heart and to the pain that I've experienced in my life. It took something so extreme, like losing my fur baby, my child. He wasn't a dog to me, it was my child. It took that in order to break me down completely, in order for me to actually grieve so many things and feel. And oh, I went there. I didn't have a choice. It allowed me to teach you how to do so. To encourage you to hear it in the whisper so you won't have to hear it in the shout. I heard it in the shout. So this caterpillar dies inside of that cocoon, and then it needs this cocoon to be very protective over it, because if there isn't a protection around it, letting it be dissolved, letting it be that death, be in those shadows, then it will just escape to nature's existence and not reform. So it's okay to feel what you need to feel and do what you need to do and just protect yourself, right? From outside things, circumstance, that try to push you into remaining how you are. Doing the daily grind, maintaining the regular relationships and the regular structure. Just let yourself be vulnerable, seeker. And from that, you will transform. The caterpillar just grows into a butterfly. And then the cocoon is too small, so it breaks out of it and it flies with wings. Okay? So if you're going through pain right now, guess where it's leading towards? Allow it. If you are scared of pain and still want to evolve, and when I say pain, I don't mean like suffering. It's a matter of perspective. Once you go there and don't, the pain comes from resistance. When you resist your pain, you feel the pain. When you resist healing in the process that you need, that's when you suffer from it. When you resist taking the sleep and the rest that your body needs, that's when you become super tired, right? If you just go to sleep, you wake up refreshed. So allow yourself to go to sleep so you could wake up refreshed. Feed yourself, eat well. Take the breaks that you need to take. Translate it into your narrative and your situation in life. Right? Each of us is different, goes through something different. Be truly who you are before you can become the thing that you can be. Fake it until you make it, yes, after you've been real. Be super real with yourself. And once you've done that, then you can recreate. If you want to change a costume, first you need to completely take off the first costume. You can't put on the new costume on top of the old costume. You need to live through it and then let it go. I hope that made sense. I hope it helped understand transmutation and integration. That's real witchcraft. Okay? Affirmations and all, burning incense and candles and wish lists, they're part of it. They're contributors. They're the curtains to the apartment. But first you need a bed. The basic things, right? And you need a floor. You need to make sure that the floors are set and you have the basic furniture before you take care of the curtains and the pictures on the wall. Now, it's very much so like the pyramid of Maslow, the pyramid of needs, where first you have to have your basic needs met: food, shelter, safety, and then, leisure, friendships, dreams. I went about it in my life the other way around. I first took care of the tip of the pyramid, like upside down. Dreams, aspirations, knowledge, spirituality. And I went further into finding my 3D security and safety and building a sense of security. Now that will allow me to actually go, it's already allowing me to actually go so much higher with my pyramid, with my tower of spirituality. I spoke about it with one of my seekers that booked a private reading the other day. And I told him, listen, you're very sensitive, you're very intuitive, you're high there in the ethers, but you don't have anything to anchor you because your life, your 3D life, is unstable. Go back to building the foundations of this 3D. Take the classes that are basic for your knowledge. Make sure you have food in your fridge. Make sure you have money in your bank. Make sure you have clothes and, a coat for winter. Eliminate that sense of fear, of survival. So you could have resources and extras to feel. How could you afford to just take a rest for a month if you have to work 3 jobs to pay rent? So find the balance in how you find your stability in surviving this world that will allow you to take the breaks that you need. And they're all always intertwined. The whole notion of a pyramid that is like this, it's an illusion. It's both like this and like this, the Star of David. The integration of the above and the below, of the heaven and the earth, of survival and self-fulfillment. It is done simultaneously, as long as they're both done, being done. And if one of them is in complete imbalance, then you let one rest for a little bit to strengthen that thing that needs balance. Now I think I've said it all. And I'm going to finish up like I finished the other live reading that I did the other day with integration type of blessings for you. So just breathe it in with the smoke. This is frankincense and myrrh, by the way. So turn black into white. Notice turn black into white. It's not eliminating the negative. It's transmuting it. It's using it. It's not evil. It's a part of this existence, okay? Turn black into white. Return the bad aspect of it. Keep the right. Return the interpretation of the negativity and just keep the energy of it. Turn black into white. Return the bad. Keep the right. All is good. All is safe. Black is white. Black is white. Everything is right. Amen. Amen. Oh, all the information is below in the information box. How to book a private reading with me. Tarot Masterclass if you want to learn how to be a Tarochi by me. It's on Vimeo. All the extendeds, monthly extended, yearly extended. And feel free to join me on Instagram, the Existential Shift. I'll soon start adding like daily messages from the runes over there. The runes are Nordic symbols. It's a divination tool similar to tarot and other divination tools. It's more ancient and they're awesome.